The Gitrog Monster versus another powerful commander in Memnarch. Now the question is, do we vamp tutor for a Life from the Loam or not? I think that would be alright actually. If we can get into a fetch land, then it would be very good. Let's keep that. And just hope that Memnarch doesn't get off to a flying start. They do not, so that is very good. We'll shock down the Overgrown Tomb so that we can actually play the Vampiric Tutor and pass it back over to our opponent. Memnarch is a 7-mana colourless commander, a 4/5, and for 3 you can have a target permanent become an artifact, and then for 4 mana gain control of an artifact. So no prizes for guessing what our opponent wants to do with that. Let's see if they've got counter magic for a Vampiric Tutor. They appear to be F6'd, so either they're not expecting us to do something on their turn, or they don't have counter magic. Doesn't actually matter if they counter a Life from the Loam, so I think we're definitely going for that. We want Life from the Loam in the graveyard anyway. So let's go for that and target nothing. And then we'll throw it back over to our opponent. Our commander is the Gitrog Monster, 5-mana Golgari commander. It is a 6/6 with Death Touch. And at the beginning of your upkeep, you sack it unless you sacrifice a land. You can play an additional land on each of your turns. And whenever one or more land cards are put into your graveyard from anywhere, you draw a card. We are going to dredge back the Life from the Loam. We do get a couple of lands in there, so that's good. Do we want to try and Demonic Tutor here? Let's just Life from the Loam and try and encourage our opponent to counter that. For all they know, we don't have another land drop to make, but no, they don't counter. I was thinking of going for Demonic Tutor onto a Sol Ring there, so that we could... Oh, actually, no, we couldn't have done that anyway. Well, maybe a Mana Crypt then. We could have gone Demonic Tutor, Mana Crypt, and that would have ramped us, and we still could have gotten Life from the Loam going. Oh, Thran Dynamo. Yeah, we're definitely going to dredge with Life from the Loam still. There's our Sol Ring. Brutalizer Exarch. I think getting into a Bane of Progress would be good. So why don't we do that? Let's go Life from the Loam again, just so that we can dredge it back next turn. We're not doing anything else, so we might as well do this. And we'll go for Demonic Tutor onto Bane of Progress. And luckily, our opponent doesn't know what we're tutoring for, so they're not necessarily going to play around a Bane of Progress. It's not something that you see all that often played in 1 versus 1, even though you should. Oh, and they're halfway to getting down their Tron cycle. Obelisk of Erd is a tribal card, so I'll be curious to see what they name here. Okay, this might be a mere tribal deck then. That's not typically what you see with Memnarch. And Memnarch itself isn't a mere either. Go for Life from the Loam again. We don't get into any more lands though. We're getting pretty unlucky with this Loam. Let's go for the Gitrog Monster. Oh, and I definitely should have gotten down the Cavern of Souls there. Wasn't thinking. Yeah, definitely should have gone for Cavern of Souls there, but it does at least get the counter spell out of our opponent's hand. And if they're spending it on the Gitrog Monster, then they're not necessarily spending it on the Bane of Progress next turn. 3 cards left in hand. And if they get down their commander here, oh, Darksteel Forge makes things much worse for us. Yeah, that's not good. I think we have to get down Mana Reflection here. Darksteel Forge makes all of our opponent's artifacts indestructible, which switches off Bane of Progress. I don't think we have a means of exiling non-creature permanents. I don't think we have a means of exiling anything, actually. So this might just be a race to the finish line. Master of Ethereum is just going to get bigger as the game goes on. And that is not a Mir, I don't think. No, that's a Vidalcan Wizard. Yeah, they have named Wizard with that one. Their commander's a Wizard, so I'm curious as to why they named Mir with this. Alright, how's about a... Do we care about Sylvan Primordial? I think we might just have to go for Avenger of Zendikar. How much mana do we have? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. That'll leave 5 mana open. Yeah, we can go for Life from the Loam, I suppose. We'll go for Avenger of Zendikar here, because we might just have to rush our opponent. Then it's Bajukabog. That will obviously put a plus counter on all of our plant creatures. And then Life from the Loam back into the graveyard. And we'll just have to dredge that back next turn and hope that we can actually get a land. Okay, they're getting down their Memnarch. We can't do anything about that thanks to the Darksteel Forge. That was a good spell to cast for our opponent. That has thrown a spanner in the works for us. And the 3 mana ability turns a permanent into an artifact in addition to its other types. And that is not until the end of the turn, so next turn they can actually take this mana reflection from us when they untap. Let's go for Life from the Loam, and we do get some lands there, that's good. So let's go Gitrog. Then Life from the Loam on these 2 things. We'll get quite a few landfall triggers here, thanks to one of them being a fetch land. We'll get a card draw here, because a land is entering the graveyard. We're not going to... we could Life from the Loam, couldn't we? Yeah, let's Life from the Loam there. Oh, Nissa Vital Force is really good as well. We have a Forest Enter. Yeah, we could actually go wide quite well on our opponent here. I think that has to be the game plan. Actually, how many... I was thinking of casting the Worm Harvest there, but this is per land in our graveyard. We don't actually have that many, do we? So let's go Nissa Vital Force. We'll untap the Bajukabog. No, we won't. We'll untap a forest because we want green. And then we'll go Life from the Loam onto the fetch. And then we can replay the fetch. And get another card draw. I think I'd like to see a different card. Oracle of Muldiah isn't the worst, but it's not the best either. I think we'll just get down the Oracle of Muldiah here. Okay, there's Entomb. We have Ancient Tomb as well. I think we just go for Bayou. Doesn't actually matter. And as you can see, we've gotten down a lot of landfall triggers there, so we'll just swing in with everything except the Avenger of Zendikar. And they will chump. And we will deal a lot of damage to them there. They're down to 6. So we might have just done it here. They can take some things away from us, but I think we can go wide on them. Yep, they're gaining control of mana reflection. So they've got all the mana they could ever want. They've got 2 cards in hand. Now then, are they just on the plan of stealing all of our stuff? There's a mere turbine. That just creates a Mir token, and then tap 5 untap Mir you control to search for a Mir card and put it onto the battlefield. Don't really think that's going to do anything for them. They might just be trying to create as many blockers as they can. A Mir Retriever as well. I think we are just turning everything sideways next turn. And then they turn the Avenger of Zendikar into an artifact. So no doubt they're looking to steal that next turn. We've already done the damage, I think. Yeah, I haven't looked into this yet. They've got 4 blockers, so they block all 4 of these, and then we just swing in with all of those for lethal. So yeah, that was looking pretty sketchy for us there, but we managed to get down. I think it was a good play to get down the Avenger of Zendikar and then just get as many landfall triggers as we did. We got 6 lands into play according to this, so that allowed us to pile in a lot of damage on our opponent and yeah, get the victory out. Had we not have done that, I don't see what we would have done, because we couldn't destroy any of the artifacts thanks to this, and I don't think we have a means of exiling things. We certainly don't have a means of bouncing stuff in these colours, so that was a pretty difficult game for us, but we managed to pull it off. The Gitrog Monster versus Memnarch. I'm tribalkai on the EDH channel. Thank you for watching.